Master. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I'm happy that you could join me tonight to hear about our family's long-standing tradition of having something to look forward to. I'm going to explain to you how we came up with this tradition, how we make it work, and one of our favorite outcomes from using this family tradition. So we decided to use this family tradition to plan our future vacations. My sister and I usually do all the planning, and we have a difficult time getting people together, figuring out what everybody wants to do and trying to make it all work. So we came up with this idea. How it works is on the tail end of one of our other vacations, we set the theme for our next vacation. This always gives us a long time to plan and something definitely to look forward to for the year to come. I'll share with you one specific time that we used this and how we made it work for us and a little bit about our adventure. We decided to, on our Long Beach vacation at the Kite Festival, near the end, to decide our new vacation would be to head down the Baja Peninsula to one of the whale sanctuaries and hug some gray whales. So this is the first step of our planning and gave us something really all to look forward to. Unfortunately, only my sister, my niece, and I could make it, but that's okay. My family, other families shared in helping us to have this to look forward to. But once we had our destination, we came up with a date to go in March, and we started planning from then forward. This actually made the planning phase very enjoyable, and we even looked forward to the next step in planning how we're going to get there, where we're going to stay, what we're going to eat, and all the interesting things that we're going to do along the way. So the way that this particular whale watching trip started out, after all the planning, is I met my sister and my niece in San Diego, California. We spent the night, woke up, had some breakfast, and got on a Greyhound bus from San Diego to the Tijuana airport. This is where we decided to get the rental car. After having a lot of planning time, we found that it was $450 cheaper and decided to go with that so we would have more money to spend on other things. So we hop in our car and head south. The first stop we made on the way, we made sure that it was very close to the Tijuana airport. We didn't want to get lost or come into any trouble and be arriving where we were in the dark. So we got there in plenty of time. A small lobster fishing village. It was great. We had some lobster, watched the sunset, got a good night's rest, had some more lobster in the morning, and proceeded to head south. We made some other stops along the way, stopping at some farmers markets and some museums and some parks, and gave ourselves time to make stops that weren't planned. Once we got to our destination, where we were close to the whale sanctuary, which is in Guerrero Negro, down the Baja California Peninsula, which is in Mexico, we were really looking forward to the next part of our journey, just getting out there and seeing some whales. If you don't know anything about the gray whales, I did some research and found out a few tips. They live up north of Alaska, and they spend about half a year there getting fat, preparing for their journey to head south to the whale sanctuary. The females usually head out first, followed by the males. And the interesting thing is, as they go along the coast of Washington, Oregon, California, and Baja, they don't stay too much farther than 2 or 3 miles out from the coastline. So we can tell when they're coming. They're easily spotted. It's pretty neat just knowing that, and that we were looking forward to that all year after finding out all this information. So the night before our journey, we get a good night's rest. We wake up in the morning, have breakfast with some tourists, and head out in the bus towards the whale sanctuary. It took us about 10 minutes to drive out there. Once we got there, three 12-passenger aluminum boats with outboard motors were waiting for us. There was nothing fancy about these boats at all. We had to tie the cushions down so that they wouldn't blow away. We were handed a sack lunch, got in the boats, and off we went. Took about 20 minutes to get out to the middle of the lagoon where we were going. And once we arrived, all around, all we saw was whales. Whales over here breaching, whales over there coming up with the tail flapping down, whales, mother whales and their babies, whales blowing water out of their blowholes. It was great. So we sat there and ate our lunch and enjoyed that for a good 30 minutes. All of a sudden, the tour guide started banging on the boat, making a huge racket, and the whales came up so close. They were nudging the boat, they were splashing around, the mothers were sending their babies up to us. The tour guide reached out and gave one of the whales a big hug, looked at all of us, gave us a thumbs up, and we spent the rest of the 3 hours petting the whales, hugging the whales. We were soaking wet. It was so amazing. After that, we headed home, back to the hotel, talked about our adventure, and talked about the next leg of the trip. We always gave ourselves something different to look forward to. So the next things we had to look forward to were an island, a seal island off of Bahia Asuncion, which was a really cool Airbnb in the tip of view in all directions, more farmers markets, more museums, lots of time at the beach, and lots of exploring. Once we finished our time in Guerrero Negro, it was time to head north. And by that time, we were really looking forward to going home. We'd spent lots of time in the car. We've been with each other day in and day out, and there's nothing like home. I'm glad that you guys were able to hear this adventure from me and how we came up with this tradition of something to look forward to, our process, and our amazing journey down the Baja Peninsula. I challenge you guys tonight to go home and think of something that you guys have to look forward to. Dwell on it and enjoy that. And if you don't have anything, there's always time to make something to look forward to. I guarantee you'll really enjoy it. Thank you.